Alright, so Adrien Broner defeats Paulie Malignaggi in a 12-round split decision, become the new WBA welterweight champion of the world. From the beginning, I thought that I didn't think this fight should have been for a title, and the reason why I say that is because Adrien Broner came up 2 weight classes to challenge Paulie Malignaggi, where he never even fought in that weight class. I mean, I thought that was kind of bull crap, but then again, the titles don't even mean shit anyway in boxing nowadays, just the way how I see it. But I mean, it is what it is. Broner is now a three-time world champion, moving up in the ranks pretty good now. I thought this was a pretty good fight. Malignaggi gave a good spirited effort, just the way how I predicted. I did predict Broner to stop him, TKO stoppage between rounds 7 and 9. Obviously, that didn't happen. I was actually kind of disappointed in Broner's performance. He was looking kind of flat-footed in this fight. He wasn't letting his hands go enough. He wasn't going to the body that much. He wasn't throwing combinations enough. His jabs were kind of, had more effectiveness in his punching. I didn't really expect this fight to go the distance. I was kind of surprised. I know, Malignaggi is not a bum. He's a very skilled fighter, but I really did expect Broner to come in there, to end this fight, with a TKO stoppage. But it is what it is. I thought Broner could just, put a little bit more effort into this fight. This fight just clearly, states that, Broner has a very tough time against fighters that can move around the ring. Now, if you look at his previous fights with DeMarco and Gavin Reese, those fights were tailor-made for him because those guys stood in front of Broner. Broner, beat their asses, but in reality, you could actually say that, DeMarco and Gavin Reese, they brought the ass whoopings, to themselves because they were standing in front of Broner and just not moving. Broner's the kind of guy, he wants you to come in there, stand in front of him and try to go toe to toe with him because Broner is more of an effective counter puncher. So by you coming to him, staying in front of him, it's easier for him because he's a very strong puncher. And in this case with Paulie Malignaggi, you didn't really see that. So if you would have had, say, like a Matisse with Malignaggi's footwork, I think this fight would have been a lot different. I mean, I think, honestly, at this point, the one fighter that I could see that could beat Adrien Broner at 147, I don't think it's not going to be Marcos Maidana, even though Marcos Maidana does have good power. I think that would be a good fight, but the one fighter, and I don't think it could be Matisse or Garcia the one that could beat Broner. I haven't seen too much from Keith Thurman yet. Maybe once we see this Diego Chavez fight, we could see where he's at. But I think the one fighter that could beat Adrien Broner is Timothy Bradley. I think Timothy Bradley will be the one to beat Adrien Broner if that fight ever happens. Because Timothy Bradley's tough. I mean, he's obviously got more power than Malignaggi. I mean, he's not, He's not knocking dudes out, but Bradley's a pure boxer. He's got footwork. He could adjust. I mean, I think he has the right tools, right amount of tools to beat Broner. He has a chin from hell. I think he'd be able to take Broner's punches. That would be a good fight. I hope that fight happens down the road. Broner did say that he wants the fans to choose his next fight. That's pretty interesting. I don't know what's going to happen in there. He could say that now, but I mean, you never know with the politics of boxing, man. You never know. Like in this situation, when I felt that this fight shouldn't have been for a title, because he's never even fought at 147 to begin with. So, just me personally, I think you have to earn your title shots. You got to, work for that shit. Paulie Malignaggi was the weakest link out of all the welterweight champions. But, yeah, I was kind of disappointed in Adrien Broner. I expected more out of him in this fight. I heard some people saying that this fight was a draw. Some people even thought Malignaggi won. I scored the fight 115-113. I actually did have to go back and rewatch the fight, because the second time you watch a fight, you get to see things more clearer and shit like that. Yeah, so I went back. I watched this fight. I scored it 115-113 for Broner. As far as Malignaggi goes, he says he's got enough money to live happily. I think I'm not really sure what Malignaggi could try to accomplish at this point, because obviously now he doesn't have his belt. So I mean, if he retires, man, that's cool. That's on him, If he wants to go do that, retire and shit. He is a good commentator. If he retires, I mean, it's nothing. I don't see nothing wrong with that if he retires. I think Broner's career is going to be, his career is going to be, looked at heavily upon now, because I don't think Broner can afford to take any more, what do you call that? I want to say, mismatched fights, I guess, in the fact. I just want to see Broner go out there, fight some, real competition. Not saying that, Malignaggi was not. It was a step up in competition from his last two fights, but I want to see Broner, man, get in there with some, real deal competition, man. He could fight one more time this year, possibly twice. I would like to see him fight twice, but I doubt it. I think he's just going to fight one more time this year. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that whole entire Lucas Matisse, Danny Garcia thing going on right now. I thought that fight would have been signed and delivered by now. Because apparently, Lucas Matisse is the one who called out Danny Garcia. So if Danny Garcia hasn't signed to that fight, it tells me I'm not really sure that Danny Garcia wants to fight. So if Danny Garcia don't want it, hopefully, Adrien Broner will step up and fight Lucas Matisse. I think that'll be a good fight. But we'll see. The only way I feel Adrien Broner can only go, forward from this point. I don't want to see him go backwards. Take on some, bullshit fight from here on out. I thought that, some of the things at the end of the fight he shouldn't have said, but that's just the way how he markets himself. He wants to be the villain of the sport, and when you're in the villain of the sport, people's going to monitor your career a lot closer now at this point. And that's what it is. So hopefully we can see Adrien Broner down the road step up, fight some real competition. I think Timothy Bradley is the one that will beat him, if that fight ever happens. Um, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. So hit me up. Let me know what you guys thought of this fight and all that good shit. And I'll be on to the next one real soon. Peace.